my God, 5 minutes of just waiting around. Holy Jesus. We're going to be waiting for this timer to go down just a little bit. We got 5 minutes to kill. I like how YouTube is over here. Give your videos a brand new sound with our latest tracks. We've just added new copyright safe songs to the YouTube video library. That's great. Is this still the same stream? No, this is a different day, my man. We're going to be doing the same exact thing that we were doing yesterday, except it's a different day. So, yes, same title, just different day. As we wait for the time to click down. I'm going to be sitting here in clan chat talking to everyone. This is really bad. We just entered an Iron Banner event, and we dominated really, really bad. 120 clans added together with 100 active members was beat by our top guy alone. So our top guy got so many points that all 120 clans added together at the same time weren't matched with him, which is a lot of grinding. We're still waiting on this timer to go down. We're at 3 minutes and just about 30 seconds at the end of saying that. I'm trying to get DestinyClanWarfare.com loaded up so I could read you guys the actual stats themselves, but the website's not loading. Let's exit out of it and new tab, back into one. So, previous event, right? The clan that I'm in, which is Revenge is Ours, got a score of 44.74 million. And then the the clan that we're really up against, like our super internal rivals, is Unknown Redux, who got a score of 32.34 million. So we dominated them by 12 million. And then after Unknown Redux, the only real competition we have, the next highest score is 6.78 million, which is we're almost 40 million above them, which is ridiculous. Now then, that said, the top guy in our clan, his name is Craig. This is all public information, so I'm not DDoSing anyone. He played 521 games and has a score alone of 3.25 million. And he just dominated. And then on top of that, Monkey played 607 games, which is a new record, which is just insane. Oh my God. I'm 10th on the leaderboard with 175 games played and a score of 1.03 million. I wanted to break the 1 million mark, and I wanted to play a pretty good amount of games. So 175 is pretty good, to be completely honest. Would you ever think about making a minigun? Not really. Most guns, from what I really do now, is mostly just what I feel like doing. It's not a lot of like viewer recommendations, and I'm not saying that I won't ever do it. It's just when I feel like doing. That's how most of it works. So negative 30 seconds. like a lot of why I've been gone from YouTube because you know, I did a lot of what's going on right now. I would come home in the middle of the day from work and I would have just a couple hours. And a lot of it I was unmotivated from YouTube. I didn't want to really build anything, and a lot of it would left me with just sleeping a whole bunch. But now it's a little bit different because I'm a little bit more motivated to get back into YouTube. So whenever I feel like making a minigun, we could. Um, so we're at finally positive time, which I didn't even know was possible. So yeah, now we can get into the first review of the day, which will be the RPK Mark III. I'm really happy with how this gun turned out. It is a really nice looking gun. I'm really liking this gun. It's just a nice looking gun. Alrighty then, here we go. Hello and welcome back to another live review video of another 2017 gun model. This is the RPK Mark III. So this is the third iteration of an RPK that I would be making. I think I should actually check it really quick. By for once going to ojthemeister.weebly.com. Back to my website, which also should be updated sometime soon. Oh man, yeah, it's really bad right now. Let's go to light machine guns and click on the RPK. I don't think I've updated it with. Ooh, I have. So this would be the first version over here, and this is the second version over here. And then we get into the third version, which was this one, which would make this one the fourth version. So the fourth version has to go beside it. Now then, let's come up here to this. What particularly makes this a little bit different from this one is a little bit of the dust cover. You can see that the dust cover's changed. This was a 4-stud wide design with these on the bottom to kind of make it look more appropriate. That's been changed. The safety lever's been changed. This magazine was a 2-stud wide magazine. These handguards were both 4-stud wide. Those have been changed to the bottom one's 5-stud wide now. This is 4-stud still. Grip has been changed to 3-stud, and then the stock was redesigned slightly, as well as the dust cover and a little bit of the receiver. So now this is what we have. It looks a lot more clean, a lot better. So the stock itself has been slightly redesigned. It's got a small butt plate on it. Nice cheese wedges. I wanted to use an upside down method of going through here so we could have the cheese slopes on top and bottom. I also wanted to get in some sideways building here or upside down building to use these particular pieces here because this represents the curve down really well from the top of the stock. So all of this is just nicely sloped coming up into the back of the receiver. Again, this is a redesigned receiver. It's a little bit more flat in most places, and then the grip itself is only 3 studs wide instead of 4, which is really nice. I really like it. Working trigger, working magazine release, both pretty standard on the AK. Working fire selector, it does move up and down. Currently in the safe position, you can move it down to get into move it down once to full auto, move it down twice to semi-auto. Because this is a light machine gun, I suspect there's going to be a lot of burst firing going on in the full auto mode. Dust cover, like I said before, has been remade into a 5-stud wide dust cover with nice curves through it. Standard adjusting sights, you just slide this lever back and forth and it'll be fine. This trunnion piece right here is 3 studs wide into a 4-stud wide base with an area large enough right here to accept a 3-stud wide magazine. You can see it just barely clear, which is really nice. This locks into place by rocking in just above these pieces here. You can see this little lip right here. And then right about here-ish on the actual magazine itself. So you pull this magazine release and then you can strip out your magazine. The RPK takes 40 round magazines, so this is just a 40 round magazine. This is a 3-stud wide magazine. It narrows down to 2 studs wide in front and then a 4-stud wide base down here, basically with how these side plates work. It's basically 4 studs. So pretty awesome stud transitions going on through here that just gets a lot more accurate looking to the in real life model. Standard bolt and charging handle. You can actually see the top of the magazine right here. So this actually could theoretically feed if you put a spring inside the magazine and let the bullet go. You have your takedown lever here. It does not actually work, though this model does technically field strip the way that it's supposed to, and stuff like that. So yeah, this could actually work in real life if you really wanted it to. This lower handguard right here is built upside down and right side up, so that it's a total of 5 studs wide, so it barely sticks out of the 4 stud wide body back here and accepts the curves on bottom, so it's nice and comfortable in your hand. And then you have a small gap up here on top, so that with a 4 stud wide top handguard here, it's nice and good looking. And of course you have your little barrel section hidden thing here. You get into your barrel, which is just a heavier AK barrel, standard gas block going back to here. You have your cleaning rod down here, and then you have your bipod up here as well. So basically how this bipod would work is a couple different, a rubber band system that kind of works off of tension. So you would hook a rubber band on this exposed plate here and another rubber band on the back end of this. And because that rubber band is nice and straight, as you can see, it's mostly straight here, it would hold the bipod kind of in this position. It'd probably be in a slight angle up, but it'd basically be in this position because the rubber band is always going to want to be in the closest position that it can, the smallest. So if you stretch out a rubber band, it's going to try to go to what it was before, which was smaller because you're making it bigger. I think that says Privyet, but I'm not entirely sure. So unfortunately, I don't speak any Russian. So if the rubber band is trying to contract, it will hold this like so. That said, if you were to take and unfold this by moving it down like so, it would lock into position here and here. And that would hold it nice and straight. Of course, it's straight right now, but there is a piece here that does allow it to move outwards into a nice 45-degree angle. And then the actual feet itself can be folded flat as well. So then you get just a real nice, easy. Whoa, that was interesting. Let's not ever do that again. So you can fold this out to actually get a bipod up and running. I don't think it would ever go like this, this far. I think you would basically stay a little bit more straight than this, like right about here-ish. So the magazine's not touching the ground. So yeah. That's pretty much it for the RPK Mark IV. This file is actually named incorrectly. This is the Mark IV because I've already, according to my website, made a Mark III. It's right here. And this is the older designed AK receiver that I used. So now we do have a Mark IV that could go beside it. I appreciate you being on my stream for a long time. I really do. So that's pretty much it for this review video of the RPK Mark IV, not Mark III, as I originally said. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to comment and subscribe for another YouTube video sometime later. All right, onwards to the next. What is next? Let's go to, yeah, okay, so down, 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 down. I haven't done anything to that. We do have the SIG 556XI, though, that we can do. I don't have a rendered picture of this either. Interesting. I build a lot of models that are homemade, is what I'm going to guess that's saying. Why is this file not opening? There we go, awesome. Now we get into some more complex stuff. This was, oh boy, was this a hard model to make. Thank you, I appreciate that. All right, here we go with another YouTube video here in a couple seconds. All right. Hi guys, me again with another YouTube video. Today we're going to be taking a look at this. This is the Sig Sauer 556XI. And this is a really cool gun. This is actually from Rainbow Six Siege. This is the gun used by Thermite for the majority of his encounters. He's an attacking operator. And Jun Yu, yeah, it's kind of crazy how MP5s can have grenade launchers, I know. This was a really interesting gun to make. There's a lot of stuff going on here in terms of stud changes and links and things like that just to get this gun overall looking really nice. And a lot of that plays into how just good this gun looks. It looks fantastic. Starting with the stock, most of the stock is actually 4 studs wide, except for this bottom part here. This turns into 3 studs, and this goes to 3 back into 2 up here, which goes back into the 4. Part of this is built upside down to accommodate some of the curved slopes that you see here, which just adds a really nice effect to it. The back end of this is a pretty basic butt pad. It's just got a little bit of some vent pieces on it to give it a little bit of some grip texture. The entire top of it is also incorporating bow slopes to give your cheek a nice feel when up against it. You can rotate the stock on these pins right here. Is it going to do it? Is it locked into place right now? Whoa, that is a problem. That means those 2 pieces aren't connected to one another. Yeah, right through here. We can fix that really quickly, actually, by just doing that. Alrighty then. Let's try that again. Whoa, okay. There we go. Alright. Wow, man, I am just a fantastic Lego builder, let me tell you guys. So yeah, the stock can fold over to the side. This makes things a little bit more difficult on a right-handed shooter, but you still kind of have access to the trigger, of course. The stock folds out really wide. You can see I tried to keep that here just because there's a lot of stuff that sticks out the side of the gun and whatnot. There's no locking thing for any of the stock. As you can see, there's a lot of problems going on with the stock anyways, so yeah, that's a little no fun. This goes into a 5 stud wide back plate up here, as you can see, which goes into a 5 stud wide body lower receiver, and then a 4 stud wide upper receiver, which has a lot going on with it in terms of detail. So, for instance, if we take a look at our fire selector here, the fire selector is kind of built into the actual receiver itself, kind of set back. So this is on 5 studs. The inside of this is 3 studs, and then you have plate building techniques to kind of get the kind of cutout for the actual selector itself. You can rotate the selector. Why aren't you rotating? There we go. You can rotate the selector in between the different firing modes that the gun has, which is fantastic. Like I said, this is built on a 5 stud receiver with some side building techniques going on here to get it to make it nice and flat. Our bolt catch is right here. This is a really basic bolt catch. You basically just push it in and out. So out means it's locked, and that impedes the travel of the bolt. Pushing it in just locks it back into place. For this little bit of side angle detailing going on here, I just use some hinge pieces and some other techniques. This still, of course, allows for the bolt to travel back into the gun itself. This is just a little bit of detail over here, just because. Your first part of your magazine release is on this side. You can push on this to drop the magazine. It's just a standard kind of M4 style release. You have the actual magazine itself, which is a standard AR-15 magazine. This is a 3-stud wide magazine that goes into a 4-stud wide esque body, which comes back into a lot of different stud changes going on back here before you get to your trigger guard, trigger, and grip. Grip is 4 studs wide. Trigger guard is 2 studs wide. This whole section here is 2 studs wide, but it kind of flares out to 3 stud wide. Somewhere right about here is 3 studs wide, and then you get into like a 4 stud wide-esque area up here, which is using plates so that the magazine can fit, no problem, which goes back up into a 5 stud wide area right here, where this pin is at for the takedown of the receivers. Working trigger, working fire selector in the sense that you can move it. It does not actually impede the travel of the trigger. Working magazine release, 3-stud wide magazine, folding stock as you saw. It just needs to be improved, obviously. Charging handle can be pulled back on this side and released forward. It can be converted to be on this side as well. You just have to switch a couple of pieces around, but it's no biggie to really try that. The standard iron sights used in game are as follows. It's pretty basic. I just tried to mimic as much of the actual sights as I could. These do in fact fold down the other way. So you can fold these on down. So that they are nice and flat, so you can have an optic mounted on the gun itself, which is nice. And then of course they just fold back up. The handguard is a lot, so it's generally 4-stud wide handguard with a barrel that goes through the majority of the gun. You can see it kind of right through here. And then a gas block, which also goes through the majority of the gun, and gas tube. This is a 4-stud wide handguard. It's got a lot of the vent details going on through it, using a lot of the cheese slopes through here, and then the bigger vent style pieces up here. This part in particular is kind of interesting because it's one of these pieces that's used to hold 1, 2, and 3 cheese slopes in place, so that you have the kind of shape of the handguard coming up. And then you get into the, I'm not entirely sure if this is a rail or not. I know that a rail can be attached to it, but I think in game this doesn't have a side rail to it. Excuse me. I think you generally speaking don't use anything on the side rails, so you don't mount one. Most of the time, like a PEC box will go on the top rail in the game. So I don't think they have any actual side mounting rails to it. I think this is just the holes where they could mount them at. Standard length barrel with a muzzle brake on the end and a gas adjustment port right here. And that is it for the SIG 556XI from Rainbow Six Siege, again used by Thermite. This was a really fun gun to build because there was a lot of stud transitions going on here. A lot of detail went into this build as well, and I really like that I can do that. And it come out so good because there's so much just going on right here, like 5-stud wide to 4-stud wide. This area up here gets into 3-stud wide and then flares back up to a 4-stud wide up top here. It's just, there's so much going on here that's insane. It's really nice. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, comment and subscribe for more videos similar to this one. I'll see you guys later in another YouTube video. Thanks so much for watching. Goodbye. Alright, what's next? Ooh, MPX SD. Could I have sworn I already did this one? No, I'm recording videos. I'm still live. I'll be live until a little bit. Yeah, I did do a video. Didn't I? I've had to have done a video if it's on Weebly, right? So if we come over here, let's get out of this and go on over. I could have just checked my phone. I really should have just checked my phone. I wonder if we've already done some of these models as well in terms of review. Oh my god, if we make the same mistake that we made yesterday, it's going to be really, really bad. I really don't want to make the same mistake that I made yesterday. Yeah, okay, no, I don't. I think we're okay. Yes. I think we're good. No, it's right here. I did do this one before. What the heck? Why? I haven't made any changes. Why is this one here? I wonder if this is one that I just didn't move over like I should have. Most of it's just a lower receiver change anyways. Let's go back. So we've done all of, we basically should have done all of Sledge's loadout. So if we take a look, the only thing that we haven't done is like the actual gadgets and stuff. Because we've done this, we've done this, we've done this, we've done this. So the only things that we hadn't actually done were like the grenades and stuff, and then that. And I'm not going to make an actual video on those. Ooh, we haven't done the SMG-11. And that would be the last gun before we're done with all the 2017 models, I'm thinking. So let's open this one up. Now we get to talk about my horrible SMG-11. So, yeah, here we go. Hey guys, me again with another YouTube video, and today we're going to be taking a look at this abysmal failure that is called the SMG-11. It is an absolute shame, but I did not do well on this model. I thought that this model was going to be one of the best guns that I've ever made. A lot of this is built sideways, and I thought it would work really, really well in real life. Not too long ago, I uploaded the LXF file to Bricklink to get all the parts that I needed for this gun in pretty much all red. I'm actually looking at the outcome of that up on the shelf. I built it all using money that I had gotten from my YouTube partnership program before I got booted out of it, and it turned out to be an abysmal failure. The stock was already going to be a weak point. Everyone knew that. I had to tape the stock to even get most of it to hold together. And even then, I just keep it folded. I really don't keep it extended at all. The magazine gets stuck really, really badly inside most of the magwell. It's really tight in the magwell. The bolt and just it snaps off from the charging handle all the time, or gets stuck in the back of the gun. And then a lot of the gun is prone to just a horrible stress fractures like all over it. That said, it does look really nice having it in LDD still. Even in real life, it gets the point across. It's a really nice model. You can tell what it is, even from up close. It just likes to break. That said, I think there's also one other thing about this model that's wrong. This magazine release, from what I'm told from other people, is in the wrong place. Supposedly, this magazine release is in the back of the gun right here, in the heel grip, which I know that happens, but I always could have sworn that it was a different gun. I thought that these were in the side like Uzis were. I'm not entirely sure. So this is what we have. Most of the gun is 4 studs wide and then has some plates on the side that kind of make it up to 6 studs. So that's the majority of it. Here we have the stock. This is a really basic stock. Basically, it just folds into and clamps into place right here. If you take and remove these two pieces, you can actually take and turn the stock off to the side. It doesn't crash. So I think what I did before is actually remove these two pieces. Grab this, pull it out, grab this, pull them in. Grab this, and fold it off to the side. Well, it's not going to fold because something is getting in the way up here. It folds off to the side. I have it in real life. I know that it folds off to the side, and it works really well. It's just that this is a 2 stud wide build going into a kind of back plate here with a hole in it. It's just really bad design stock. I really don't like it. 4 stud wide grip, magazine release on this side. Magazine release does work. That is a feature on the real world model that does in fact work. Pulling the magazine also works. You can pull it out nice and simple. The problem is, of course, putting it back in. It's really tight. The magazine does go up to the bottom of the bolt, so you can see it when you open the bolt. Working trigger, of course. Working fire selector safety, of course. Muzzle rail, and charging handle, followed by sling mount or chew charm, whatever you want to call it. Basic iron sights. It's real simple. And that's pretty much it for the SMG-11. There's really not much to it. Minis, hello. Yeah, it's really just a simple model. That said, I think I went a little too overboard on the complexity of it, so the in real life model suffered because of that. But for the most part, still, I have a really good model. I have fond memories of building this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, comment, and subscribe for more videos similar to this one. I'll see you guys later in another YouTube video some other time. Goodbye. Boom. And I think that will be everything done and dusted from our list of horribly long guns to continue making. Yeah, it's just so different now. There was a lot that went into designing stuff like this. Like this right here, this is actually an AK-74 that I have that I don't think I ever released a video on. This is where the 2017 review started. 10 months ago, I started the reviews right here. These first 3, these are the 10 first reviews, and then 8 months ago is when I picked back up on them, which is just insane. Chunk of gameplay. We need to get some of these into rendered images, particularly this one, and this one. That's some of the next stuff that we'll be working on doing. Yeah, nice HK416 from Rainbow Six Siege as well. Impton 14 was fun. I built that. Man, I built that. Is that on the desktop? Is that still on the desktop? I don't see that on the desktop. That's interesting. I don't think I ever did a review of the M1014. No, it'd be up here. Would it? Whether would that be considered a 2018 model? Yeah, 7 months ago was January. Technically, the Glock isn't a 2017 model either. I know I finished it because it was in Ash's loadout. Not Ash's. Damn, what's his face? It's in Thermite's loadout, and I've done Thermite's loadout because I have the model of 1911 right here as well. Interesting. Yeah. Now becomes the hard part. Uploading everything to YouTube, basically. Let's come into files. Oh yeah, there's a lot of this. I'm not entirely sure. I think the R4C started it. R4C was the first one. It's right here. It's like all of this needs to be uploaded, which we can do right now. Great, the videos are going to take forever to load. Hi guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the PP90. Oh man, I almost screwed up that intro. Today we're going to be taking a look at the PP93 SMG. This is a Russian SMG. So all of those were the wasted ones. All the rest of these need to be uploaded. So let's come over here, select files to upload. Quick access. What did I do with this PC? Videos. And now we're just going to absolutely destroy like everything about this. So much going on here. So yeah, we just got to upload these 12 videos. It should be relatively easy. It'll be nice and uploaded to the channel. I should be able to go through and make all of the necessary changes to most of these, hopefully, in terms of just thumbnail, things like that. We need to exit out of this. We'll be using stud.io for our rendering of items. So we'll need that opened. And I think that because this will be uploading, I'm going to end the stream here so that it doesn't like destroy itself. So thank you guys so much for watching all the streams. And if you guys want to go out and watch each of these videos independently and separate, feel free. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, comment, rate, and subscribe. Another YouTube video later. See ya.